Have you ever wondered about the real story behind Asiong Salonga, the notorious gangster-turned-folk hero of Manila's underworld in the 1950s? The name Asiong Salonga is often whispered with a mix of dread and reverence, his legend woven into the fabric of Manila's history. He's a character shrouded in mystery, a figure who straddled the line between villainy and heroism. But who was he really? Asiong Salonga, a man whose life was as complex as the city he once ruled. His story is not just a tale of power and crime, but a narrative that delves into the depths of human nature. The legend paints him as a ruthless gangster, yet the man was also known for his wit, charisma, and a certain sense of justice. So how did this man from the slums of Tondo become such an enigmatic figure? Let us delve into the life of Asiong Salonga, the man behind the legend. Born in 1924, Asiong Salonga grew up in the mean streets of Tondo, Manila, a place notorious for its hardened criminals and tough inhabitants. This was a world far away from the postcard-perfect beaches and towering skyscrapers that Manila is known for today. A world that roughened the edges of a young boy and molded him into a man of grit and resilience. Asiong's early life was a baptism by fire. The narrow alleys of Tondo were his playground, the gangsters his mentors. These were the years when Asiong learned the harsh realities of life, where survival was the only game worth playing. His experiences in this tough neighborhood didn't break him. Instead, they strengthened his resolve, honed his cunning, and sharpened his instincts. These formative years in the underbelly of Manila were instrumental in shaping Asiong Salonga, the man. They instilled in him a ruthless determination that would later define his life. Such were the beginnings of Asiong Salonga, a man whose journey was about to take a notorious turn. In his early 20s, Asiong Salonga rose to prominence as the leader of a local gang, establishing his reputation as the most feared man in Tondo. This was a time marked by an audacious ascent to power, where Asiong's name became synonymous with fear and respect. Asiong's rise was not a fluke, it was a calculated climb. As the gang leader, he orchestrated numerous operations which only served to cement his standing in Tondo's underworld. His actions were bold, often audacious, and always left a lasting impression. But it wasn't just his criminal activities that made him infamous. Asiong was known for his charisma, his cunning, and his ability to command respect. He was a leader who could inspire loyalty among his followers and fear among his enemies. His reputation grew, and so did his infamy. But Asiong's reign was not without its challenges and consequences. The path to power is never a smooth one, and Asiong's was no exception. At the height of his power, Asiong Salonga was gunned down, marking the end of an era in Tondo's underworld. It was a tragic end to a life that had been as tumultuous as it was controversial. His death, while sudden, was not altogether unexpected. Living by the sword, as they say, often leads to dying by it. In the aftermath of his death, Tondo was thrust into chaos. Power vacuums tend to do that. The structures Asiong had put in place crumbled, and the unsteady peace he had maintained was shattered. It was a stark reminder of the transient nature of power and the inevitable downfall that follows unchecked ambition. Yet Asiong's story didn't end with his death, far from it. His life and deeds became the stuff of legends, stories whispered in hushed tones in the dark corners of Tondo. His name became synonymous with the harsh realities of life in Tondo during his time. But Asiong Salonga was more than just an infamous gangster. He was a product of his environment, shaped by the circumstances of his birth and upbringing. His life served as a mirror, reflecting the social conditions that led to the rise of such individuals. In the years that followed, Asiong's life became the subject of numerous films and songs. These works of art painted a complex picture of the man, examining the dichotomies that defined him. They portrayed him as both a ruthless gangster and a folk hero, a man capable of violence and kindness in equal measure. These depictions, while varied, all point to one undeniable fact. Asiong Salonga has left an indelible mark on the collective consciousness of the Filipino people. His legend continues to resonate, serving as a stark reminder of the realities of life in Tondo and the complex characters it can produce. Thus, Asiong Salonga, the feared gangster, left a mark as a legend, a symbol of the harsh realities of life in Tondo during his time.
Like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell.